What's up, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz once again, bringing you guys this 13-game slate on NBA. It's the day before Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys have a good holiday too. So we're here. We did an NFL video yesterday. That's a betting video. We're doing a Prize Picks NFL video too. So if you're into NFL, go check those out. Those videos are awesome. We've been doing really good on Prize Picks for NFL. And if this is your first time joining us on a Prize Picks video, you can sign up using promo code Upstate, and you get a deposit match up to $100. So if you put 100 in and you put $100 in, you get $100 back to use. So $200 to start off your Prize Picks journey, and that's a solid deal. You can mix and match sports. There's no there's no sharks. You're just playing against the house, and yeah, it's a really simple way to play, man. There's a lot of we've been doing really well over here playing Prize Picks, and I know a lot of other people have been seeing a lot of success. And you can mix and match sports too between NBA, NFL, and they run some awesome promotionals during like this time of year. They do the Taco Tuesday, and then they're doing a Thanksgiving promotional tomorrow for NFL. So don't miss out on those. Like I said, check out the NFL videos. Huge slate today for NBA, and we're just gonna kind of talk about some of the picks we like. Sometimes we analyze a lot of the slate and we talk about a bunch of different guys, but today we're going to be on the guys we like because there is just so many and a 13 gamer. But Riaz is going to start.
Yeah, the first guy I'm going to talk about in points is Gordon Hayward. He's at 14 and a half, going against the Orlando Magic, who just got absolutely boat raced against the Milwaukee Bucks. I like Gordon Hayward just on the sole fact that he is averaging almost 18 points a game, which is just incredible. This game should stay close. I don't think there's going to be any blowouts in this game. And the big thing for me is he's shooting so well from the three here. He's been getting over this 14 and a half just so many times this year, and with just a great matchup against this Orlando team. And it kind of helps that, yeah, Rozier is back, so that kind of does take away from Hayward, but it kind of opens up getting more open shots for Hayward. Since Rozier's came back, Gordon Hayward's production has kind of boosted, so I like him a lot in this matchup.
We've been on Gordon Hayward a lot the last couple of videos, and he's been up and down some of these games. We were on him in the game against Washington, but we know who he is as a scorer, so he's been playing well. And like you said, Orlando just got housed, so hopefully they come out with a little bit of fire, and this game can stay a little bit competitive. Charlotte does have the chance to blow them out, I believe, but I think it should stay competitive. You know, Charlotte's not the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, dude, that game they they absolutely housed them. Like by 50 something in the first half. It was that bad. So, the guy I'm on, I haven't been on him at all this year. I don't think either of us have been on him once this year, and that's Jason Tatum. He's at 26 flat. I don't really see this line moving. It's kind of high, but I just love the matchup today against Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's going to give up a bunch of points. Both teams kind of give up a good amount of points. And we know Jason Tatum. The minutes are there, the usage is there, and Jaylen Brown is questionable as of right now. It says it's injury management. I think they're going to want him to play in this game. It doesn't scare me at all either. I can see him and KD going back and forth in this one. It should stay pretty close, should stay competitive. Brooklyn is great, but they haven't really shown the flashes of that so far this year. They've been you know getting beat by some bad teams. They stay competitive with some bad teams that they shouldn't be. I'm not saying Boston's a bad team, but I think this game should stay competitive. And Tatum's gonna have a big part of that tonight, and I really like him in the spot. Like I said, I haven't been on him all year, and I don't know. I'm just feeling him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's great when Tatum's at home. I feel like he plays a little bit better at home. And if you just kind of look at his last 5 games, he's been just going off. He started off the season pretty slow. I mean, the first game he dropped 41 against the Charlotte Hornets, which is pretty awesome. But he's not really shooting the three ball that well. But when he gets going, he drops 30, 35 points. And at a line that's sitting at 26, where that's right around his average, considering he's had a couple bad games so far this year. He's in a great spot.
Yeah.
The last guy, the last guy I want to talk about is Clint Capella. His line's sitting at 11 and a half. We've seen Clint Capella just kind of take over down low, and it does kind of help that the Spurs do have Jocko Porto back, so it is kind of a tougher matchup for him. But I really like that line at 11 and a half. And the big thing about Clint Capella is he starts off super hot from the field. I mean, in the first quarter, he usually has like 4, 6 points, and it's just sustaining that for the remainder of the game. But we know he doesn't shoot threes, but he gets a lot of putbacks, always on the glass, averaging basically 11 points this year. So I think this game also stays pretty close. It's going to be a high scoring game. The Spurs give up a ton of points, and so does the Hawks. So I like Capella in this spot a lot.
Yeah, Capella, I was on him as well, man. Even with Poto coming back, I still think that's solid for him. He stays around here just about every game, really. He's always around like 10 and a half, 11 and a half. I think he's in a solid spot again tonight against the Spurs, and that's in the late game, so I like this one a lot for sure. Scrolling up, I wanted to highlight Tyler Hero, man. He's going against Minnesota. And I feel like this is going to be a decently high scoring game, and I don't think it's going to be the highest on the slate. But I expect there to be a lot of points being scored if Minnesota can get their three guys rolling. If Russell's hitting the ball, if Carl Anthony Towns, he's usually a good scorer, but Edwards gets going too. This game should be a solid shootout. So Hero, I think he plays better when all these guys are healthy. So a lot of people don't like to go to Hero at 20, but he comes off the bench and he's just such a good spark for this team. And like I said, I think when everyone's healthy, it makes him feel a little bit more comfortable out there. I think when his usage gets a boost, I think you could see the numbers go down. So I think when everyone's healthy and the offense is the way it's supposed to be ran, and there's a lot less pressure on him when Butler's out there and Lowry's out there, he can kind of go out there a little bit freely and shoot the ball and have a lot less pressure and get a shot rolling. So I like Hero here tonight over 20 and a half.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the beginning of the year when everyone was healthy, he was just exploding, dropping 25, 30 points a game, which was just awesome to see. I'm a big Tyler Hero fan, but I totally agree with what you said. He does not like being the main focal point. He likes to be the guy that they back off of, and he catches a little swing pass and just starts knocking down a bunch of threes. So I think he's not like Duncan Robinson when a couple guys do miss. Robinson's usage goes up, and he actually has pretty decent games. But Tyler Hero loves when Jimmy Butler's out there, Bam's out there, and Kyle Lowry.
Exactly. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of the load off him. But is there anyone else here in points you want to talk about?
No, let's kick it to rebounds.
Yeah, for me, there's really not much, man. I don't really target rebounds too much. There's not really that I'm loving here. Brogdon's been rebounding the ball well, though in my opinion, it's just these last three games is what's got me off of him. But who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm going to touch on someone you talked on in the points, and that's Jason Tatum. He hasn't really grabbed like a monster game where he's had 10, 11 really that often, but he's been hanging around the 8, 7, 9 boards. I think this is a game where he just shows that he's just like the top 10, top 7 player in the league where he drops 30 points, grabs 10, 11 boards and just kind of goes out there and proves that this Boston team's for real and there's no better place to do it than at home against this Brooklyn Nets team.
Yeah, I love the narrative too with that. Tatum's not that triple double kind of guy. We know what kind of scorer he is, and Brooklyn likes to run they run small, man. So I think Tatum's in a solid spot, especially if he gets some power forward run guarding Kevin Durant. This should be a really good spot for Jason Tatum to grab 7.5 rebounds. So I really like that spot for him.
Yeah, and I have one more guy. I don't know if you wanted to say your guy first, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Because I'm not really on anyone else. I think
Yeah,
there's one, but go ahead.
yeah. The last guy I like is Jocko Portal coming back from injury. His line's sitting at 7.5. I absolutely love that line. He's almost averaging a double double. If he didn't get injured, then he for sure would be averaging 12 and 10, 11 and 11. He's just been playing awesome this year. The minutes has just been great. I mean, coming right back from injury, he played 31 minutes, grabbed 9 boards last game against the Phoenix Suns, which kind of says a lot since DeAndre Ayton has just been just collecting every board every single game. So I like the spot here. Yeah, he's going against John Collins and Clint Capella, but I think that kind of plays in his favor because he's going to play the 30, 35 minutes that they need for someone to be down there. So he's going to grab a bunch of offensive boards, bunch of defensive boards, and I wouldn't be shocked if he's got eight at the first half. So I like Jock Portal here.
Yeah, I think going against another solid center kind of boosts him a little bit. I think 7.5 is really low. We've seen him had some some really good games, especially that 14 game. Him coming back here in the spot against Atlanta, really like that too. The minutes scare me a little bit. Obviously, you deal with foul troubles with centers, but he should have a solid amount of minutes tonight. Really like him over 7.5, like you said. The only guy I wanted to touch on, it's not pretty, and I'm not in love with it, but I am gonna highlight it, and that's Lou Dort. He's at 3.5. He's been kind of smashing this just about every game so far in his last 10 games. He's gotten here, besides for one, where he almost pushed this line. Shea, he's out. He averages 5 rebounds on the season. I don't expect to be a huge boost, but other than that, the Thunder's healthy, and even when Shea was in, Dort didn't have a problem grabbing these. It's just some games he just gets over there, and I know Dort, he's gonna play some solid amount of minutes, but he's just up and every time I play this guy, he's up and down for me. Like I feel like he just has a floor game every time I play him. So if I play him tonight, you guys should just fade him. But if I don't play him, go for it because he's gonna smash. Because that's just how it is with me and Dort. So, um, yeah, he's in a solid spot to get it. I think going against this Utah team, it's just like I said, he's gonna play a lot of minutes and the usage is there. It's just this is just one there. He's hit this 90% of the time in his last 10 games, and it's just like this is just one you're just kind of looking at, and it just out of probability, it seems like he can get there. But Lou Dort three and a
Yeah,
half.
I mean the best thing about Lou Dort is even when the games are blowouts and everything, he still plays 30 35 minutes. So even if this game does turn into a blowout factor, he's still going to get the run that he would normally get if it was a close game. And 3.5 is just a way, just a low line for him.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about him just because you know what I'm saying. He's been getting there lately, so I didn't want to completely ignore him. And then over at assist, me and Reoz are on the same guy, and we're just we might sound like a broken record here because we've been on him every video since he's been playing. That's Bradley Beal, and just literally showing how good of a playmaker he really can be in this offense. And I like this offense; it's flourishing lately. But this is what scares me about this pick. I like him here, and yes, he's been hitting here a lot over the past 10 games. The only problem is, Washington has been losing lately, so they lost the last three, and it makes me nervous that maybe he might try to score the ball a little bit more here. But 5.5 is still low because he's been getting upwards of 9, so which is nice to see. So like even if he does come down in the 6-7 range, obviously he's still gonna hit over this. But I feel like Brad Beal wants to score the ball a little bit more since they've been losing. But I'm still on him here, 5.5. I don't think it can be ignored. I don't think it can be ignored.
No, I mean the fact that he just keeps racking up assists, win or loss. We know Bradley Beal's got to be the main guy, kind of facilitating the ball, scoring or assisting. So he's the main guy here in Washington, and he's got a lot of help, especially since Kyle Kuzma and Spencer Dinwiddie have been playing well. The last guy I want to talk about is Chris Paul. I love the line at 9.5. I think that's an incredible line for him, just considering the fact that he gets assists like unbelievable. The fact that he almost averages 11 assists is just crazy in my eye. Just on the just on the sole fact that he's got so many playmakers around him. The fact that DeAndre Ayton's scoring 21, 25 points the last couple of games, and we know he's got Devin Booker with him as well. So just a lot of pieces he can swing it to, and I love the matchup against Cleveland. There is a blowout factor in here, but I think he gets these assists pretty early. So, like Chris Paul here.
Yeah, he's the guy that can get there any given night. He can get there in 20 minutes even. The matchup against Cleveland, I think, is solid. Cleveland's been competing with some teams. They are dealing with some injuries. I don't know if Garland's going to play or not. But Phoenix has just been extremely hot lately. You know, they've been winning a crazy amount of games. They're just about at the top of the Western Conference. And like you said, he's got a lot of playmakers around him. I like Chris Paul here. He's one of those guys like, like the Curry and the three-pointers, like the I don't know, like a Durant in points. It's just always at the same line, always looks good. It's just sometimes the matchup comes along, and this one is a solid matchup in my opinion. I think he can get over there for sure. We'll hop over to 3 pointers made, and then, you know, this is a category I was looking at. I've been trying to find someone that I've been like really on, and um, I don't know if I'm really on much here, Riyaz. So who do you like?
I like a lot of people in this 3 point category, to be honest with you, but I'm just gonna stick to the two that I really believe in. And the first guy I'm going to talk about is Gordon Hayward. I was on him for the points. If you just kind of look at his last five, it's kind of up and down. He makes one, he doesn't make one, he makes two. Gordon Hayward is too good of a shooter not to make two threes, three threes. The averages show that he's not been shooting the three that great this year. He is only shooting 41% from the field, but for 3 points, you really cannot take that as a bad average. It's kind of like MLB when people are batting 300. It's awesome. So you can never really expect even great shooters to shoot 50, 60% from three. So the fact that he's shooting 42% is uh, really good.
Yeah, I mean he's shooting well, man. Like you said, I talked about in the points. He's been up and down. I think this is a solid spot against Orlando. He can get his feet going, get that shot rolling. So he's in a solid spot too. And I know. I think I like Beal here in the spot at 1.5. It just seems low, and like I said, he might try to score the ball a little bit more. He's a guy that can hit this in a quarter. He can come down and hit back-to-back threes in 2 possessions. So he's that type of scorer. He's a volume scorer. He can get hot in a game. The game log doesn't show much for him. Obviously, he's been struggling a little bit from deep so far this season. He just doesn't shoot a ton of them. But Beal over 1.5 is something that I really like.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would love to see Bradley Beal start to get hot. He's only shooting 28% from three, which is just atrocious. But we know Bradley Beal is a much better player than that. So I'd like to see him get going here against the Pelicans. And you know what? Bradley Beal's one of those guys where if he starts to get hot and they keep this line at 1.5, that's just money to be made.
For real, man. He's in a solid spot tonight. I think going against that bad Pelicans team, he should be able to get things going. And then you score a little bit down. I was on Hero for the points. He's like a 3-point shooter, so like usually he's gonna get that three ball rolling. That's how it works for him. If he's gonna score over 20, the three ball is gonna be rolling. But three is just a little high for me. So I don't want to go there. If it was at like 2.5, I'd definitely be taking it. And then if there's anyone else here, we could talk about him.
I mean, I always don't mind Valanciunas over a half, and DeMar DeRozan at an over. Both these players have been shooting the three pretty well so far this year. The fact is they just don't shoot them enough. Where the line is like really intriguing. So those are two that, if you think he is, I mean, I would fare more with Valanciunas, just the matchup against Washington. I think DeRozan is in a spot where Chicago just blows out Houston, and he just doesn't get the run that everyone would think.
Yeah, also Vucevic is questionable in that game too. Could bring a little bit of usage down, but not really for 3 pointers. That's more in like the scoring category. So we'll see how that affects things in the Chicago side of things. And yeah, I think that's it for 3 pointers, man. Is that it for you?
Yep.
We'll hop over to fantasy score. Huge category, like I said, 13 games. A lot to talk about. The first guy I want to look at is Ricky Rubio. If Garland misses, I believe he is still questionable. So if he misses, we know what type of boost that Rubio gets in this offense, and we've seen him even with Garland in there hitting over this. But I think it's just more of a sure bet if Garland does decide to miss. But it's a neck injury, and it seems like he's been warming up in shoot arounds and whatnot. But he is questionable, so monitor that. And if he misses, I like Rubio.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've every time Rubio plays, if we see that line under 30, it's just something that it's really intriguing to take. The one guy that I am on, um, kind of though, really the only guy I'm really loving in this fantasy score is Wendell Carter Jr. Coming off that horrible loss against Milwaukee. But the one thing that we did see out of that game is Wendell Carter Jr. Considering he did play 28 minutes, he got a pretty decent game. I was on him with the boards and the scoring in that game. He just got under the under 9.5. He was at 8, but he did grab 10 boards. It just kind of goes to show that even if it is a blowout, Wendell Carter Jr. just gets his points early, grabs his boards. I believe in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, he had 4 and 4. So if this game stays close, like I think it's going to, he's going to have 30, 35 fantasy score by the end of this game.
He's in a solid spot too, a get right spot going against Charlotte, where they're not solid in the front court. So I like Wendell Carter Jr. here to get things going again. He's too good of a player, to be sitting at 26.5 in my opinion. Some of these Lakers guys, and the Pacers guys, I really like Brogdon in that spot. I think the most. Just there's a lot going on with that Lakers team. They're all around 40, so it's hard for me to kind of get to any of those guys. Ja looks pretty good. I'm kind of just scrolling down the list here. Cade, we know what he can do, but just had a bad game against Miami. So I think he's in a solid spot. I think the line comes down after last game, so I like Cade here, and that's about it for me. I can talk about people on fantasy score for days. We know that for sure, but I think we're ready to wrap this things up, Riaz.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Like I said, check out the NBA. I mean, the NFL videos. We're about to do the Prize Picks NFL. We did a betting video last night. We had the face cam rolling in there. So if you want to go check out that one. That'd be greatly appreciated. So I hope you guys have an awesome holiday and good luck tonight in the NBA. Peace.